And welcome back, Reefers, to another video in the 350 saga. So the day finally came that it was time to remove the rock from the 180 and move it over to the new build. I set out to imitate the rockwork creations that I had been researching for the last few weeks in an attempt to prove that imitation is the best form of flattery. So with my rusty screwdriver in hand, I got to work popping corals off of my existing rockwork and moving them immediately, dripping wet, into the new 350. This didn't make my wife too happy, but I didn't care at that point. She had already beat me from before. My objective was to move as much rock work as possible and then aquascape inside of the new tank. In the end, it took 2 full afternoons of moving rock before everything was in the new tank. My fish naturally freaked out on me, and some tried to hide in the rock as I was moving them, causing my kids to freak out catching fish while I moved rocks into the new display. Nonetheless, it was pretty hectic. In the end, I decided to build a giant frag rack in the old tank to hold the corals while I did my aquascaping. I can tell you right now that on day 1, I hated the rockwork. After a day or 2 of looking at it, it kind of started growing on me. Another 2 days, I went back to the tank and figured that with corals, it will look even better. I asked my wife and any strangers that came into the house what they thought. Everyone loved it, which pretty much resulted in me immediately rescaping the tank because what do they know? A full week later, I determined that it was the best rockscape I have ever created and should win a rockscaping award. All of this proved that the more lazy you are, the more accepting one is of their creation. So with the new aquascape, I fought hard to deter myself from making everything uniform and symmetrical. So other than maintaining a maximum height, I tried to make the 3 bommies different and accommodating while giving myself ample room for coral placement. I succeeded in ensuring that no rockwork touches the back of the glass so as to encourage water movement in that area. I also fought hard to make sure that as much of the sand as possible was visible due to my love of corals that enjoy life in the sandbed. As for the rock that had been curing in my sump, I was visually unable to tell it from the rock that had been in my display for over a year. This was a welcome surprise. I look forward to transplanting my corals and fish into the display. So I started testing parameters about 3 days after dumping in the Dr. Tim's starter bacteria. I started reading 0 for just about everything. It's now been a full week and I continue to test 0 for most of my parameters. I told myself that I'm going to give the tank another week or so to settle down before I start moving my corals and fish over. But realistically, I didn't move anything over yet because I want to be sure that I'm happy with the rockwork before I do. So the next step of this journey is to hang my lights and transfer my electronics. If you follow me on Instagram, then you might have seen a sneak peek of the lighting system that I went with. Stay tuned for that video. With that, guys, as always, thanks for watching this quick update. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you beautiful people on the flip side.